What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, shout out to the brother, the man, the myth, the legend, the brother Robert Mitch coming through the $20 donation via the PayPal. Salute to you for showing love once again to Too Raw for TV. So last night, the Memphis Grizzlies played the Dallas Mavericks, and they won by the final score. I think it was 102-96, if I'm not mistaken. Klay Thompson scored 22 points, hit 6 3-pointers coming off the bench, one of his better games for the Dallas Mavericks, but it was not enough. And Memphis comes away with a victory. Now, Ja Morant was on the bench. He didn't play because he's recovering from, I think it's a calf strain injury or something to that effect. There's been a lot of calf strain injuries this season. But anyway, people are more talking about the altercation that occurred between Ja Morant and Klay Thompson, right?
10 points at this type of rate. See a little skirmish here. Second night in a row.
Wow, yeah, that's how the game ended last night. 60 rebounds tonight from Memphis, 61 it looks like, plus 20 on the glass.
Now, you couldn't see it very well there, but at one point, Ja Morant had his finger in Klay Thompson's face. I mean, directly in his face. And reportedly, he called Klay Thompson a bum. I think he said something like, "You're a bum now," right? Now, we all know that Klay Thompson has struggled this season. He, at one point in time, was only averaging 8 points a night, shooting just, 20, I think it was like 29% from the floor, 24% from three. I mean, just atrocious numbers. Now he's inched up to about 10 points a night. I think he's at like 35% shooting, 33% from three. Anyway, let's listen to what Klay said, man. Listen to what Klay had to say about Ja Morant post-game.
And then with Ja, he's a funny guy. He has a lot to say all the time, especially for a guy who rarely takes accountability. But you know what? That's for another day.
What did Ja have to say on this occasion?
Nothing of intelligent depth. It was really just his just running his mouth, and he's been running his mouth for a long time. And it's funny to run your mouth when you're on the bench. It's kind of the story of his career so far, just leaving us wanting more. You know, we all want to see him out there and do his best, but he's just been letting a lot of other stuff get in the way of that. And we need that in the NBA. We need our best players to be out there, and when you're a star, it comes with a great responsibility, and I hate to see that go to waste.
And it's no lies detected in what Klay said. Look, man, at the end of the day, Ja pointing his finger in Klay's face and calling him a bum now, that's not going to affect a guy like Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson is a guy that came back from catastrophic ACL and Achilles injuries. Most people would have retired after those back-to-back debilitating, just demoralizing type injuries. You know what I'm saying? To come back from one, and while you're in the middle of a comeback from the ACL, you tear your Achilles. Mentally, most people would have shut it down. So for him to battle back after being out of basketball for 941 days and winning that fourth NBA championship, yeah, he's not the same player, but that's due to injuries and age. Ja Morant has been nothing but a disappointment. He's been a disappointment because, you know, he ain't a dude that grew up like, for instance, he's not a guy that grew up like Steve Francis. You know, Steve Francis actually grew up in the hood. Steve Francis actually slung rock as a kid because he figured that was the only way he was going to make it, either that or basketball. Stevie Franchise grew up with 10 people living in the same small apartment. He had a totally different reality growing up than somebody like Ja Morant, who comes from a nurturing family, upper middle class family, both parents in the house, but he feels a compelling need to act like a dumb dumb YN. I don't know why he feels the need to act like something that he's really truly not at heart. And some of his theatrics could be funny at times, but overall, it's stupid. It'd be one thing if he was doing some of the entertaining things while at the same time keeping it just entertaining, but actually producing as a basketball player and actually, being a leader. He's not. You got 7 playoff wins. What are you chirping about? Didn't you just reportedly sulk about not having joy? You don't have the joy you normally play, taking a uncreative play from Jimmy Butler's book from last year. It's like you don't even want to be in Memphis. You notice you never hear any rumors about Ja Morant being traded here or there. You notice that? You always hear about Giannis. You hear trade rumors about other players. You don't really hear a constant flow of what if Ja went here or Ja. Why? Because first of all, I think part of it is nobody really wants this dude because he's a headache and he's not a difference maker in my opinion. Not really. So you beat Klay Thompson in a regular season game. Whoop-de-doo. But don't think, I'm going to tell you something. Don't think that Klay don't remember, he's not going to remember that. Don't think that Klay's not going to remember you disrespecting him and calling him a bum and pointing your finger in his face. And I'm not talking about no physical retaliation. I'm talking about the next game they play. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on every single game afterwards that they happen to play against each other. And one other point I want to make about Klay too. A lot of his struggles has a lot more to do with how he's being used and how he's being set up than just his age and attrition. If you put Klay Thompson right now, if you put Klay Thompson on Denver, if you put Klay Thompson on Detroit, if you put Klay Thompson with the Kings, hell, I hate to say it, but if you put Klay Thompson with the Lakers, I guarantee you he'd be much more effective than he is right now playing with Cooper Flag and being coached by Jason Kidd. And why does Jason Kidd not get any goddamn, I hate to change the subject a little bit, but Klay Thompson, gets a lot of flack as if he's the leader of this team. And he's not. He's the champion. But he's not a champion with the Dallas Mavericks. He's a champion with the Warriors. Klay's not at a stage of his career right now where he's supposed to be the top guy. He can be the spiritual leader of this team, but he's not the top dude. I know who the coach of this team is. Jason Kidd. Why is he not getting any flack? You got the general manager got fired, and Nico, right? People get mad at Anthony Davis because he can't stay healthy. Fine. People get a little smoke at Kyrie. Not much, but little, right? People throw temper tantrums about Klay not shooting well. Fine. Even little Cooper Flag get a little smoke. Fine. Where's the smoke for Jason Kidd? Jason Kidd's supposed to be one of the great basketball minds of all time. I can't tell it. And I know he is, but culture-wise, he ain't getting it done. The lineups he uses, the schemes they have, man, he's not, man, no. He's not getting it done. And if they're going to fire Nico, they got to fire Jason Kidd eventually, man. And they ain't going to turn this shit around, so they need to fire his ass expeditiously. But that's all I got to say about it, man. Tell me what you guys think.